Almost everything you own crossed an ocean inside the exact same metal box. It's ugly, empty, and boring, and it might be the most important invention of the last 100 years. It didn't just carry the modern world, it built it. By the end of this, you'll never look at a shipping container the same way again. And stay to the end, because this dumb steel box is the hidden reason your phone, your clothes, and your furniture are as cheap as they are, and the reason whole industries cross the planet. You've seen them stacked on ships, trucks, trains, identical steel boxes, all the same size, in the same few colors. They're so ordinary your eyes slide right off them. But that sameness is the entire point, and it changed everything. To understand why, you have to picture how shipping worked before the box. And it was a nightmare. Because for most of history, loading a ship was slow, brutal, and wildly expensive. Before containers, cargo was loose. Barrels, sacks, crates, boxes of every shape, all hauled aboard piece by gangs of dockworkers. A single ship could take days or weeks to load, needed armies of longshoremen, and cargo was constantly damaged or stolen along the way. The result, shipping was so slow and costly that it was often cheaper to make things locally, even badly, than to bring them from far away. Distance was expensive. The ocean was a wall. Then, in 1956, a trucking man named Malcolm McLean had one deceptively simple idea. What if you didn't unpack the truck at all? What if the whole box just went straight onto the ship? McLean's insight was that shipping's real job was moving cargo, not sailing ships. So he built a standard steel box that could be lifted straight off a truck, onto a ship, onto a train, and back, without ever being unpacked. His first container voyage sailed that year on a converted tanker. The effect was staggering. Loading that used to take days took hours. The cost of loading cargo, by one famous estimate, fell by around 90%. And because every box was identical, one crane, one ship, one truck anywhere on Earth could handle any of them. Cranes replaced crowds. Distance stopped being expensive. The wall of the ocean quietly came down. Now here's the part that reframes everything. We talk about globalization like it's a force of nature, factories moving to Asia, cheap goods flooding in, the whole connected global economy. But that world only exists because it became almost free to move things across it. And that was the box. Think it through. Once shipping cost almost nothing, a company could make your sneakers in Vietnam, your phone in China, your furniture in Sweden, and still sell them to you cheaply. Suddenly, the cheapest place on Earth to make anything was worth using, no matter how far away. Global supply chains, offshoring, the whole modern economy, none of it works without a cheap, universal way to move goods. Globalization didn't invent the box. The box invented globalization. So the most transformative machine of the last century isn't the computer or the jet. It's a hollow steel rectangle, so boring you've never once thought about it, quietly carrying the entire world on its back. Now, to be fair, this wasn't free, and not everyone won. That same box that made the world cheaper wiped out the old dock economy almost overnight. Whole armies of longshoremen, and the port districts and communities built around them, simply disappeared as the jobs vanished. And the cheap shipping that lifted some countries out of poverty also hollowed out manufacturing towns in others, as factories chased the lowest cost across the sea. The box also wasn't the only cause. Trade deals, computers, and cheap communication all mattered. But the honest truth is that the same standardization that connected and enriched the world dropped the entire bill on specific people and places. So, everything comes in the same metal box because sameness is the superpower. One standard container, liftable by any crane onto any ship anywhere, collapsed the cost of moving goods by around 90%. And that, more than almost anything, is what built the global economy you live in. The next time you pass a stack of shipping containers, give them a nod. That boring steel box is carrying your entire modern life. Send this to whoever's never thought twice about a shipping container. And subscribe, because next, why does movie popcorn cost more than the ticket? The theater isn't really selling you a movie at all.